Right, we're live, so that's good. Hi, Dan, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. As we were saying, just trying to adjust as best we can. So, but yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Cool. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd time, isn't it? I mean, just realising sort of at the weekend there, that would have been the last game of the season away to Peterborough Sports.
Yeah, there was a bit of chatter in the group with the lads, just saying about could have been, should have been, would have been, like maybe lifting the trophy. Obviously,
Yeah,
we're never going to know, but we know that we got well in with a shout of it, and that's what we were aiming for. So it was, we just sat home. Yeah, the sun was shining, but sat home like no sport anywhere whatsoever. So
I know.
unless you're a poker fan or whatever it is they want to do, but nah, it was it's all very surreal and a massive shame.
Yeah, it's totally bizarre, isn't it? I mean, Sky, I don't know. I've not had Sky Sports on in ages. I don't even think that there's anything on. I guess they're probably re-showing the Newcastle Liverpool classic game, I think.
Just on rerun. Yeah, there is a bit of glimmer of hope when they're talking about the foreign leagues coming back potentially. I think they were talking about Germany, like middle of May maybe, because they are there obviously. I wouldn't say handled the situation better than the UK, but they're in a different circumstances to us. So their league looks like it's ahead of ours. So that might be a glimmer of hope for all of us sports staff people, that if that does go ahead, then hopefully that'll be on the box for us to watch and get our little bit of sports.
Yeah, because I thought I heard somewhere that Arsenal are back training now. So
Yeah, I don't know how that works. How can you be back training? How can training grounds be open when we're all supposed to be social distancing and staying at home? I don't know. Can't get
zonal marking. Zonal
Yeah,
marking, not allowed to
yeah.
be within 2 meters of anyone.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they're not very good at that though. So
No. Yeah, so yeah, I saw Steve put it in his blog that it could have been the weekend, the big weekend. It would have been a interesting run-in anyway with Bromsgrove the week before, and
yeah, on paper we had a tough last probably 5 or 6 games. I mean, every game's tough, but yeah, I think we had Kings Langley over the bank holiday weekend as well,
that's
and
right. Yeah,
they were
they
before
might
this.
have all have been sorted with 2 games to go.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I was saying that to Jordan Parks, who plays for Kings Langley, before this all kicked off. Actually, obviously, that they were flying, and hopefully by the time we play each other on Bank Holiday Monday, that we won the league and they're already in the playoffs. So the kind of games don't really mean anything. So, but we are where we are, and it's all.
Yeah.
Last season didn't happen apparently.
Yeah, Gus was gutted last time on the interview when he found out his goals aren't going to count.
Yeah, well, I suppose back to normal then for Gus, isn't it? 0-0-0.
Do you get any this season?
Nah, nah, not me. But okay, is what it is,
Yeah, I know. So yeah, let's run through a few of the questions. We've had a few come in. So here's the first one. What was your best moment of the season, either personally or as a team? You can give us both if you want.
These are always hard ones. These. It's obviously our season's obviously over such a long period. Trying to pick out one moment is or moment or whatever. It's a difficult one, but there's a couple. I think the first one would be young Joe Newton finally getting the move that I think it's fair to say we'd all agree he deserved, because coming onto the scene, I don't know, when was it? Middle of the season, last season, not the deleted season, the season before that, came in and just took to the team, took to the level. I mean, we were 17, and I could probably maybe one game, and that he kind of struggled a little bit. Maybe I couldn't tell you what it was, but his performance levels were consistently good. So
you'd have thought he'd have been playing there for ages.
Yeah, he was very accomplished, and apparently not even a left back as well when he first came in. So
really,
makes it even more applaudable. So that was really nice to see, and just such a nice level-headed kid as well. So yeah, that was good. And then
I bet there were a few right wingers who thought, "Oh, this looks all right today."
Yeah, a little young lad just fresh out of school. I could
Yeah.
maybe bully him a little bit, but I tell you, even physically, he held his own as well.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I always say, like, when I look at left backs when I'm playing with, especially when I'm playing inside them, is how they defend the far post and crosses and stuff. And he did it really well, especially like he's not the biggest. And he did it really well. Showed good awareness, and so that was really good, really good. So
and he seems to be doing well at Coventry as well. Having a look at some of their under-23 reports and stuff. So
okay, oh, yeah, I've not seen that. I saw he got on the bench once, didn't he, for the first team?
Yeah, in one of their cup games, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, so long may that continue for him. But then the kind of more for the team as well was we not for the game in question. It was Hednesford away. Not sure if you were there. We didn't miss a lot from our part because certainly for the first at least half an hour we were woeful. I think we were 3-0 down, something crazy like that. We lost 4-1 in the end. So enough about that. That was a blip in our season. But we had a night out that night. Always seems to happen as well. When we've got a team night out plan, you always seem to lose. And it just opens you up to all sorts of, well, you're not concentrating on the game. Anyway, but we pretty much, to a man, every squad member was there that night out. And then I wouldn't say it was like a defining moment in the season or anything like that, because that's all just a bit corny, but it just, you could tell then that there was a real kind of togetherness about the group. Obviously, we had some core players that were still there from the previous season, but I mean, you had new lads that Matty Bateman, who only come in for a few months and settled in really well, and then Claudio, who was even newer and quite quiet lad off the pitch, kind of well, in a normal environment, unless you're going to give him worse trainer, then he's like, yeah, he's the loudest one in the room. But yeah, you know, you had everyone there, and then all the normal lads, you know, your Bennies and your Muzzers and your Joshy and your Gussie, that little pests that you can't shut up. But you just had everyone, all of the different characters all together after a defeat, and it was just a good team bonding session. And it was the thing that stuck out for me was Claudio said, "Oh, after the night, I think it was maybe like early hours in the morning when we come in, or maybe the next morning when we got up. He was like, "Oh, you lot are actually all right, aren't you?" I was like, quite sure I could take that one. So yeah, it was like that was just, you know, a real feel good team bonding session, and I wouldn't say it set us up for the season because following week we went and lost to Malden in the FA Cup, but you could tell that camaraderie was there, that, you know, the togetherness was there.
Yeah, I think I said it in the chat with Gus. You know, it's clear from the outside and from the sidelines that, you know, you seem to be a real tight bunch, all seem to get on. You know, I mean, one of the things early on in the season, I think it was, and Kev Richards, the photographer, captured it perfectly. You know, after Taylor had broken his leg, I think it was, trying to think which game it was, might be in Alfchurch, and one of the goals went in, and everyone just went straight over to Taylor. And there's a picture of him with a beer in his hand, but but, you know, even back then there seemed to be like a bit a tightness and a good atmosphere between you all.
Yeah, and I'd say I've been here 5 years now or something like that, and every year the atmosphere in the dressing room has been good, but it's kind of, and this is no detriment to the lads seasons before, but every year it's kind of just got better and better, and yeah, last season just gone has been right up there with the best change rooms I've been in, and like you say, those moments like that, just trying to keep lads like Taylor in and amongst it, like they're still part of the group, and Ingers as well, who stood there for those celebrations, beer in hand. Yeah, it was really good to see, and it's just nice to be a part of as well. It's good.
Refueling like the highly trained athletes they are.
Well, that's it. You need your liquids.
It was a hot day, I think. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, there's a few times I think it always seemed to be kicking up the top end that we jumped over, and well, not me. I always kind of get there last if I'm playing. So me and Benny just trudge up from the back. But yeah, no, it's just nice, as I say, just to keep them involved, because it's so hard when you've got injuries, especially long term ones. You just feel like a spare part, and you're not contributing, and like you're on your own. Obviously, you come in early, you do your bits with the physio, and you're grafting, and it's hard, or even before that stage, you can't even do any physical work, and you're just feeling a bit low. So yeah, just need to keep each other's motivation up and self-esteem up a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, Steve put it in his blog throughout the season. It really was a squad effort this year, and people did come in, change in and out, but it didn't really seem to affect the team too much, really.
Yeah, no, it was. I think if you look across the positions, there's at least 2 lads for every position, unless you're a centre half, and there's about 5 or 6. But that's all good. But yeah, and I think Gussie touched as well. It does just keep you on your toes, because it's all well and good saying, oh yeah, I want to play every week, and then if you're the only player for that position, then yeah, I won't say naturally, but subconsciously, you kind of, whether it's in training or whether it's your preparation or your approach or in the game, you kind of just sometimes you just take your foot off the gas a little bit. Whereas there's no way we could have done that last year.
Yeah,
the amount of quality we had on the bench, the quality coming back from the treatment room, with the fewer injuries that we did have, or the lads that were not even in the squad. So we knew that we had to be at our best, and if we weren't, then there's scope there for the management to change the team. So, and that's personally, that's I think team sport should be.
Mm.
So
right.
yeah, that's good.
Cool. So you didn't pick out any of the particular games. You couldn't pick out a particular game. Not that I'm trying to put words in your mouth, but
no. I just think those kind of things. If we're getting lads that are getting moves, then as a group, and when I say a group, as a club from management down, or not just management, but chairman, board down, we're doing something right as a club for lads to be going and getting these moves. And then that, the team camaraderie and togetherness, and that, without all of this stuff, you don't get the good results.
Yeah.
You don't get the long, what was it, 10, 11, I don't know how many wins it was on the bounce, our record last year. You don't get that without the foundations being set. So, yeah, no, I couldn't sit here and say one of the cup games, because, yeah, all the other stuff beforehand needs to happen first.
Yeah, sure. Well, all right. Well, on the flip of that, what was the biggest disappointment of this season? Other than the end of it.
yeah. Sitting here, not having had any sport for what seems like an eternity. Well, even though he's a centre half, I was gutted for Tate when he got that injury. Any injury, I mean, I touched on it before. Any long-term injury is always a real kick in the teeth. But when you're not just when you're a good player, but that was a real tough one, and the way it happened as well, which personally I think was what you want to see, especially in a pre-season friendly. I get it, you're committed and all that, but I just thought that was a little bit over the top. Although, to be fair, I'm sure Taylor's dished out a few of them in his time. Not that it's calm or anything. But, yeah, that was a hard one. That's hard. It's always a hard one to see lads, going through injuries and stuff, because I've been there myself with the long-term injuries in this. It's not a nice place to be.
No, really, and you knew straight away with that one with Taylor.
Yeah, because look at him. He dished out, and he's not going to stay down unless he's hurt. No. And and Azza is, we all know how good Azza is, and when he's tending to him so intently as he was, you could tell him from afar that it wasn't pretty. So unfortunately, it was as bad as it was, and it took him as long as it did. However, he did really well with his rehab and everything else, and came out really strong.
Yep.
So that's credit to him, and credit to Aaron and Scotty for putting those bits and pieces in place, and keep going through the difficult bit. And now it's just about and just having a good pre-season. I was speaking to him yesterday, just have a good pre-season, like he was saying, and then just seeing where we go from there. So
yeah. So what are you all keeping fit at the moment? Talking about pre-seasons, because who knows, it might be. Who knows when the season's going to start? I mean, it's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know about anyone else. I can't speak for anyone else, but you see all these lads on Twitter chucking in their 5K times and that, and there's some dubious ones, some real
Well,
dubious
out on their
ones.
bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they've put it on the dog and let the dog have a run. I'm not sure about some of them, but keeping fit. I've done a little bit, but not a great deal. I don't think there's any point personally. Not any point at the minute. We might not be back till later than we normally would be for pre-season. So I mean, I've done bits. I'm homeschooling my daughter, so the first week of lockdown was every morning was Joe Wicks. We were on it.
Yeah.
Novel's worn off a little bit now, I have to be honest.
We're still doing it. We're still doing it.
Fair play.
My daughter wants to do every single one, so we're still doing it.
Really? That's good going. It's good going. So it's a good little workout, good little routine, especially for the younger ones as well. But she's lost interest. So yeah. So I did one 5K run, and I'm never going to do that again in my life. So,
too old for that now.
Yeah, Scotty's listening. Yeah, I did say that. I'm never doing that again. God, Jesus, I regret that. There's a group of my mates, and they're all chucking in the 5Ks, and one of my brothers as well. Both my brothers are in it, and I thought, I was the last one to do it. I was like, go on, I might as well just give it a go. It can't be that bad, can it? After the first climb, I was like, oh yeah, this is all right. I went off way too fast, way too quick, and it was not a nice feeling. So we'll park that one. Maybe for another life.
Are you not a fan of the long runs at pre-season then?
Nah, no way. And to be fair, we don't do that. I'm just trying to think. We don't do too many long, nothing like that. We don't do anything like that, 5Ks or anything. It's just
they've kind of moved away from that a bit now, isn't it? You used to always see teams up over the hills and that running. Yeah,
and I think it's a little bit overrated personally. Controversial maybe for some, but you can get all your fitness you need. Well, not all of it, but most of it with a ball at your feet. You can work. I've always felt you work just as hard when you're in those footballing sessions as you do, if not harder, as you do it without the ball anyway. So
there's not many times you're running perhaps more than 30, 40 yards maximum.
Yeah, for me it's 10 or 20, but 30 or 40 for normal players. So but I'd say my overriding biggest disappointment of the season was personal feeling was after Malden, the FA Cup. I honestly, I came home that day, and I normally get home just before my daughter goes to bed, but I can't remember if I saw her that night or not. I don't know. But I was just so low. I'm not one to, as he says, with a glass of wine, and I'm not one to come in and just drink for sake of bye. Kids don't listen, but I came up, I had half a bottle of wine, and I got to the point, I drank a whole bottle of Disaronno, and I fell asleep at, I don't know, early hours in the morning on the sofa.
Just going over it.
Yeah, just could have done this better, we should have done that, personally as well, playing our squad and goal, for God's sake. So, it was, you get so close to that coveted first round of the FA Cup.
And what draw they got as well. They got Orient, didn't they?
Yeah, and which was just typical, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a real kick in the teeth. So because from a personal point of view, I've got to the first round once, and I've been saying for a number of years now, just one more time before I retire, just once more. And
and it was such a big gate as well, wasn't it? Over 1,100 people. It totally took everyone by surprise. Really, I mean, we're expecting, initially 600, 700. Then it was talk of like 800, and then all of a sudden the final figure come in. And it's like, 1150 odd.
Yeah, that was impressive. That was a great effort from everyone involved. It was very evident. You're not always aware of the crowd and whatever, but especially at the end, it was that deflation and letting people down and what could have been. Because if we'd have got a home draw, then I'm sure, especially with Orient, we'd have easily smashed through that figure. And just going through all of those things and coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that. It was that was a real low point.
Yeah, but you all went quite some way to redeeming yourself in the trophy. Try not to dwell on that too much. I know perhaps the trophy isn't the same as the FA Cup and the first round, but quarterfinals of the trophy. Some game, really.
Yeah, it's not to be sniffed at, is it? But I suppose the silver lining is that you don't know how the end of the season is going to play out, but you could be in Hal's Owen and Concourse shoes, sitting in the semi-final and not being able to play
it. Yeah, that would have been really frustrating.
Yeah, so one step from Wembley and actually, sorry lads, we're not going to be able to finish the season through no fault of their own as well. So it's there's loads of different ways you can look at it and try and make yourself feel a little bit better. But yeah, we had obviously a great run in the trophy. Unbelievable individual performances, team performances, coaching, management performances, in terms of preparation and everything else. We showed that certainly. I think if we were to have gone up, then we would have been able to at least hold our own.
Most definitely.
Together, of course. But yeah, so it was that was a shame, but and the way the season's finished. But yeah, it kind of gives us fuel for next year that if we can keep the group together, and that's been mentioned a few times in the group, we can keep ourselves together, and we just have another good crack at it next year because we know what's out there. Obviously, teams are going to change, which is inevitable.
Yeah.
You've got to adjust, and as we probably will as well, one way or the other. But it's just that little bit of inner determination to kick us on and get us over the line next season.
Yeah, finish what you started.
Something like that, yeah. Hopefully we can probably finish it, yeah.
yeah. Who knows what's going to happen yet? So on that, what was this is a question I think it's coming from Ian Murray, was asking what was the toughest place to go for an away game this season, last season, I suppose, in terms of like either opponents or both and or fans. Has there been anywhere that stood out?
Well, I can't comment for Tamworth because I wasn't there, so I don't know about that. Obviously, we didn't have a good result there, so Bromsgrove was a hard place to go. We ground out a draw, could have won it. I'm not going to mention any specifics or any names, but we could have won it. Maybe should have won it on the chances that we created.
Mention it.
Well, the chance near the end. He's still kicking himself. I think he's probably been in his garden all the lockdown trying to replicate that movement. He's probably scored it every time as well. But yeah, that was a hard one. I had quite a few hundred there, but I suppose it depends on your makeup and how you deal with that. I mean, it's always nice to shut those crowds up, but that was a tough one again with the slope and with the team they were on. They've been used to winning, obviously from coming up last year. So I couldn't really pick out anywhere else really away from home that because we've obviously been very strong.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd be hard pushed to then nothing else is really springing to mind. To be fair, some of the other lads might say Tamworth because we weren't great and they're obviously quite well followed normally anyway. That was the top of the table.
Stourbridge away with a late call off. That was a tough place to go. Tough journey.
Well, there's a silver lining to the season finishing early. We didn't have to go there again. That was not that pitch. I kid you not, was so much better. I don't know if you were there, but
not at that one. No.
Oh, Do you remember Bournemouth at home on the Tuesday before we played them on the Saturday?
Yeah.
Our pitch was 10 times better than our pitch that night. And 10 times better than our pitch on the Saturday when we played Bournemouth for the second time. It was...
And way better than Concord's.
Crazy. And that, come to think of it, yeah. We were literally 2 minutes from and I'm not exaggerating, we were 2 minutes from the ground. And it comes through, it's been called off. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How does that work? So eventually we got out, walked on the pitch, we're like, okay, a little bit wet in places, but no, it's been raining. Wet, but not like puddles. Oh gosh. And then you had the journey home as well. And then, some lads taken half the day off work and whatever, self-employed, so not getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm bleeding on, but it happens up and down, but the country, but and then you get home at whatever time you get home, early hours in the morning, and then Groundhog Day, and then back up 6 o'clock in the morning, some lads, and then do it all again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, so next one. This one's from Cookie. What's the highest level you've played at? You mentioned FA Cup first round previously. Who was that with?
Yeah, that was with Bournemouth. 2003-4 season. I remember that because my son is 16 and he was born the following January. So we played Blackpool away in the November. It was around November time then.
Glamour time.
Yeah, back when they had, I think they had only 2 sides of their ground. They put up some temporary seating on the third side, and then behind the goal was nothing. So yeah, this was long before they were a Premier League team. So yeah, Blackpool away was a experience. We lost. I had an absolute shocker, but the way football goes sometimes. Yeah, I think we lost 3-0, and I was at fault for the first and the third. So yeah, not one I remember for too long.
That's why you want to get back in the first round of the cup, is it?
yeah, exactly. Rights and wrongs. Yeah, some personal wrongs. Yeah, that was a shame, but it was a great achievement. I mean, we might have even been in Div 1 at the time, Bournemouth, back then when we did that. So yeah, hell of an achievement. Beat Kettering 1-0 in the 4th qualifying round, which was nice. Always nice to beat them.
Always nice.
Yeah,
always nice.
Level. So I played Conference South for Bournemouth. Yeah. And yeah, so that's the highest. I mean, I was probably going back a lot of years now, 20 odd years. When I was straight out of school, I did my YTS for Watford. So I played. That was back. So in my first season as a full-time player, Watford won the playoffs to get into the Premier League. So that changed our opponents quite significantly because we went into a Premier Youth Leagues and Premier Reserve League. So we were obviously playing against all of the other, the London clubs, etc. So that was good. That was good test and come up against some significantly better players and talent.
So who else was at Watford when you were there? Anyone made the group?
Yeah, not my. A few of the lads, made a few appearances in my age group. The year below me was Lloyd Doyley, who's obviously had an exceptional career, playing at our level now. I don't know if he's going to play next year, but and that was we had Lee Cook in my year, who played for Watford for a few years. QPR twice. He had 2 stints at QPR. Some various other places. Apart from Richard Lee, the keeper, he was a year below me. He went. I think played most of his games for Brentford.
So where were you playing then? Were you playing left back or left hand side of centre half?
I played everywhere. I played both of those, left back, left centre half in a 3. Never in a 2 though. Never played in a 2. Centre mid, left mid, Yeah, I played everywhere apart from up front and centre half. Never play on the right. Never on the right.
Just got to stand on that leg, ain't you?
Yeah. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. Who grows up wanting to be a right back?
Well, my boy's predominantly left-footed, and I said, "Well, you'll be all right. Every team always needs a left back."
Exactly. Yeah. You're just someone just with a left foot just to balance out the ratio a little bit.
Right. Okay, let's jump to this one first of all, because this is sort of like kind of goes on. I know actually, this one came in from the gaffer, from Steve. What's your all-time best 11? Now, I've assumed, this might be wrong, but I've assumed that he's thinking of who you've played alongside, because he said, you've had a fantastic career. So, what's your best 11?
Yeah, I had to think about this earlier, and it's a hard one because there's so many good players that are going to be left out. But is what it is. I suppose it's like being a manager, isn't it? With our squad, there's so many you can pick in there. So, but I've gone for Tony Tucker in goal. Now he was our keeper at my second stint at Bournemouth when we won the playoffs in the Isthmian or whatever league it was. Our goal, we had 24 clean sheets that year, which was crazy. I think we'd only scored maybe in the 40s, so which is really not a lot of goals if you're talking about a 42-game season, whatever it was. So I think we won the playoff final. We certainly won the semi-final 1-0. I think we might have won the final 2, but scored in the second one right at the end. But yeah, he was good, safe pair of hands and an absolute crazy keeper. So not scared to leave one on even his own players as well. So yeah, he'd be my keeper. That was a close one on that. Welshie was right up there. And then I've got Osei Sankofa as part of a back three, who has hands down the best right-handed defender I've come across in non-league. He's played in the Premier League for Charlton back when he was younger, and just oozed confidence. Like, you get in 1v1 and you just can trust that no one's getting around him. Then I've got Ryan Moran, who played alongside me when we were at Bournemouth, both times actually, both my stints. Sadly passed away about 7 years ago. But he was an unbelievable centre half. Good technically as well, and just his timing of the jump. He wasn't a big, what you think of a big centre halves at non-league level, but he was, very adept and very good at what he did. And then Callum Reynolds, again, all three of those have played with Bournemouth. So that's a stingy back line. Callum's still playing. Callum's at Barnet now. He came on loan to us, I think, when I was at Bournemouth at the time. I can't think of where he came from. But yeah, exceptional defenders, all of those. I could only pick 3 defenders because there's just too many midfielders and forwards to try and squeeze in. I got John Wallace is the first one, who I played with when I was at Dover. He came on loan from Gillingham, and just only a really small lad, but bundle of energy, quality on the ball, box to box. Always good to have in your midfield engine room. And then I got Daryl McMahon, another one from Bournemouth, who's had an unbelievable career. Went into management really early. But yeah, his left foot is just nothing I've seen at this level, and you just can't get the ball off him. I got Darren Curry in there, again, played with Bournemouth, and even though I think that might have been his last spell as a player, so he was coming towards the end of his career, but you could just see the class he's got. The way a pass, the touch, the movement was just crazy, and for the younger lads to even just train with him was just exceptional, to be able to tap into that And then my fourth midfielder was JP, who anyone that scores over 20 goals in a season for midfield is something exceptional. And we didn't even win.
He always got picked out as like the best player you played with him when we did the player profiles last season. Everyone was
the talent that kid's got is frightening, and he's just so laid back with it and so nonchalant, and as I say, I mean we finished second that year when he scored 20 odd goals. I won't talk about what happened after that, but and he was playing predominantly off the left wing in a 4, and he didn't. I could probably count on one hand the amount of them that were free kicks or penalties. So very good ratio. And then I got Omar Reza is my first forward. Who again played with Bournemouth and bloody good career. Growing up in the Arsenal academy and being around the likes of Bergkamp and the like. Gone off to Turkey and played in the Champions League no less. So yeah, he's a real good all-round forward. Mauro Velletti is the second one, who again Bournemouth came on loan from Barnet at the time, and he's still there, still at Barnet. He's, again, only small, but trickery, pace, cause backlines, all sorts of problems. And then Drew Roberts, who is just an absolute goal machine. You give him one chance, he's going to score. You don't want him with his back facing to goal, but he is an absolute pest. In the nicest, but like to play against is horrible because he doesn't shut up.
What centre half doesn't want, is it?
Yeah, he's always in your ear, always talking, always saying nonsense. And then if you've got the ball, he's two steps away trying to shut you down, and he's non-stop. Just his appetite for working and then going and putting the ball in the back of the net. And he's one of them that would have the ump if he didn't score, even when we won. I remember it was a year again, we finished second to Hemel. It was a shootout between him and Adam Marriott at the top of the goal scoring charts, and we went down to, I think it was Bashley, who were like cut away at the bottom of the league, getting beat 5s and 6s and 7s every week. So Drury saw it as an opportunity to, fill his boots, and we won 1-0 and he didn't score, and he was livid. So yeah, that's my 11. There's some quite ridiculous players that Darren Purse, Muzza, Scotty Thomas, Waters, Chris Dillon, John Frendo, Marriott. I mentioned some ridiculously good players. But unfortunately on the bench.
That didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want to single anyone out in from the current squad or that. So no, you wouldn't want to embarrass them or.
No, honesty is the best policy.
And so of those, then, who's the best player? Is it one of those that the best player you've ever played with?
Yeah, it's a toss up between Daryl McMahon and JP. I think for me, different types of players. Not equally, like I think I mentioned, Daryl, you're never going to get the ball off of him. He's running to game with his wand of the left foot, and then JP, who a little bit unpredictable in terms of the things that he can do with the ball. He can take players on. He can run in behind. He's just, and then he can go and put it in the top corner if you stand off him. So both exceptionally good players, very very good, and JP could have gone and played a lot higher for me. Yeah. So definitely one of them too.
So picking that strongest 11, and you said it was a tough job, and you mentioned about being a manager. You considering going into coaching or management? I think Gus said you were doing your badges.
No, yeah. I've done my level 2. I did that last year. So that was a good experience. Good to go through. Pick up all sorts of tips and tricks off of the other people you're doing it with. So I've done that, and I'm working for Jordan Parks. I've mentioned him before. He's got his own coaching school over here where I live in Hemel. JP Pro Football. So I've been doing that. I did some shadowing before Christmas, around November, December time, and kind of got involved properly into the new year, with predominantly like an under-7 elite player group they've got some unbelievable talent. This under-7 group. So that's been a really good eye-opener, really good experience, good learning curve. So I'm was enjoying doing that. Until all of this. So yeah, there's definitely something, the coaching side is definitely something that, I'm keeping my eyes open and learning more, and definitely something that I'll kick on with. How much I do will be determined by job security and everything else. But yeah, it's so that. But in terms of management, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a different ball game.
Yeah. But I mean, it's evident from the games that you're not playing, rested or injured or whatever, and that you take an active part on the bench though. So I think that's people kind of see that as a pathway for you. I think.
Yeah, and this was mentioned like every year. This is asked of me, and it's only been really the last probably 18 months or so that I've kind of thought, you know what, yeah, I'll give it a go. I remember a friend asking me when he first came in, oh yeah, you're going to be a coach? And I was like, nah. That was only a few years ago. So, I've changed tacks quite significantly. But yeah, management for me is totally different, and been in a lot of clubs, seen a lot of the way they're run, or not. A lot of different dressing rooms, and at this level, is it something I'd want to do? Maybe. I didn't never say never. Could I do it again? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I could do this or I could do that. I'm not going to blow my own trumpet, but I like getting involved and tips and whatever, or helping people. It's just what I like to do, and if I can do that, great. If not, then then I'll go somewhere else and try. I'm definitely enjoying the coaching side of it at the minute. I'm learning loads with at JP school, which is really good. So
it's pretty rewarding, isn't it? With young kids.
Yeah, it is. So I've never kind of been involved at that age level before or anything apart from having my own children. So it's definitely an eye opener. So you've got some lively kids in there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting one. So it's all good. We'll just see how this goes. I had an interesting conversation actually earlier today about coaching, which was quite a bit of a nice little confidence boost actually. So I won't go into too much detail, but that was really nice to intriguing to have that conversation, and it opens up your mind to think about where things could lead and all that kind of stuff. Because I find myself in an unfortunate position where I've been made redundant.
Oh no! Sorry,
not because of COVID, but I was made aware back in January that there was a process, and I finished 3 weeks ago. So things are in sharp focus in terms of job security and what industry I go into next and all that kind of stuff. So even though I'm an old boy, I still got a lot of years to work. So got to pay the mortgage somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we'll touch on those. There's a load of questions about your age and Gus and that ripping into you. You're not that old.
Well, in a footballing sense, maybe a little bit.
But the knees holding up. You don't need that WD-40, do you? That I think Luke said.
Yeah, they're keyboard warriors. Look, getting on there. WD-40. Yeah, they'll be the first one to ask me for my magic potion when we get in the dressing room. That's the aloe vera gel that I use, not the Greenies Guinness potion.
Yeah.
So the knees are all right. Knees haven't really been an issue apart from that one bad injury I had in the playoffs my first year here. It's more been groins, which has been an ongoing thing from when I was younger. I had an operation, and it's just more about me and how I manage that. Keeping to my programs that Aaron gives me, because if I don't, then he knows.
So he's watching you do keep to him.
Yeah, so it's like having cameras in your house. It is. So so it's just about how I manage it really, and touch woods. It's been going all right.
Cool.
So I'll stick with Aaron, I think.
Cool. One other question. We've got just a couple more really. Now, Ian Murray again asked, put the squad on a running track and race in a mile. Who's going to win a mile? Now, that's not a sprint, is it? And it ain't quite a long distance, just over 1,500-1,600 meters. Earlier on, a little while ago, Scotty Taylor replied to a message on Twitter saying that there was a 10K, time 10K, and that was James Brighton winning that at 43.38, followed by Taylor Parr at 43.56.
Interesting. I wouldn't say any of them to over 1K or 1 mile. I would have the more. I was going to say more nimble as me saying. I'm putting Brighty in the same bracket as Taylor then. That's a hell of a time for both of them. I do remember seeing that actually. I would say you're definitely not going to have your sprinters in there. Your Claudio, for example. No disrespect, he might surprise me, but I don't think he's got it up there to.
He's tailing off after a while, is he? He'll go out.
I'm not sure he's got the strength up here to go the distance on that one. You're definitely not going to have anyone else like Josh, Big Josh. That is, he's definitely not getting anywhere near it. No chance. I think I'd beat him. Brighty would be up there actually. I think, and you got Gussie, who's he could sink a fry up, cans of Coke, ice creams, Mars bars, and just go out and just do it with a fag on.
That's just the elixir of youth, though. That will go. That won't stay with him forever.
Yeah, he'll start growing outwards.
That catches up with everyone. That.
Yeah. I'll put little Josh maybe as well if his little brittle bones could hold up. Maybe Brighty, but not really anyone else standing out for me. Muzzer's too heavy.
Welchie?
Goalkeepers can't run.
I know. 6 yards, isn't it? 18 yards maximum.
Yeah, you got no chance. Again, I'll beat him. Bridger a few years ago, maybe. No, he's
that was a little barbed comment.
He's over 30 now, isn't he? Class him as old now.
Veteran.
Not really anyone else. Do you know what? Matty Bateman.
Yeah.
Matty Bateman is the one I'd throw into the mix. Yeah. He little whippet. Well, not little, but big whippet. Yeah, he's a clever one as well. He'd have a good strategy. Where Gussie would just and just try as fast as he can, but Matty would think it through. Them few.
All right, okay.
Sorry, lads, if I missed anyone out.
Last one. let me just see if I can find it. It's highlight of your time at Royston Town so far.
Hell, 5 years. Just trying to scroll back through the years.
Oh, by the way, this has just come through as a comment. Gus Scott Morris Special Guinness. We'll leave that. Highlight of your time at Royston.
Yeah, that would be up there. You'll have to probe Greeny a bit more about that, but all I will say is karma can be a bitch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but might be kids listening, but yeah. Play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. So, yeah. I thought it was funny anyway. That was a great highlight for me. Yeah, ask Greeny about that one. Highlight Royston. Winning the league's obviously got to be up there.
Yeah.
That was a good achievement. I don't know, I just think just playing with the groups of lads that I've been lucky enough to play with every year, I think, especially this year. Again, as I say, no detriment to the lads that have left and the years gone by, but yeah, I think that's what makes you want to go to work every day. Not every day, but you look forward to that break from the mundane every day, going to work, and you've got the football that's a break. Even when it's a Tuesday away at wherever you're going, you're being around all the lads, you've got the camaraderie and the banter going, flying and all of that, and it just kind of keeps you going. And yeah, you look forward to it. And now, especially, we notice it after this 6 weeks or whatever it's been, that, you know, not got any of that, not face to face anyway, and it's a massive hole. So yeah, that for me, year on year, even above all of the winning games and winning leagues or whatever, because they come and go, but you know, that day-to-day side of things is the constant. So that's the highlight for me. A bit generic, but
no, it's fine, mate. Cool. That's cool.
That's me.
All right, cool, nice one. I don't want to keep you much longer, really. It's been like 50 odd minutes. That's great.
No, you're all right, mate. That's fine.
No, exactly. Yeah. No plans to hang up the boots just yet?
No, not yet. No. I said it every year. I think I'll see how I feel at the end of the season, and or towards the end of the season, and my body feels all right. Unless someone's going to tell me that I'm not up to standard, then you know I'll carry on. So far, nobody's told me. Touch wood. Nobody's told me that. So yeah, I know I'm still going to play for another year. I'll never put a time span on it. So we'll give it another go, and hopefully there's some successes along the way.
And hopefully it comes around sooner rather than later, really. Yeah.
I don't know. We obviously got the news and the elite level, which is obviously almost daily. When's it going to be back? But I just don't know how that would affect our level in terms of them talking about behind closed doors and
but it'd be impossible at our level.
So yeah, just don't know how they'd be able to structure us playing. I don't know. I would. Would gatherings of under 1,000 be all right? Who knows what they're going to come up with?
Yeah. I mean, but you know, under behind closed doors at our level would be a nightmare. Clubs couldn't survive. Can't survive without gate money and that.
Yeah, that's
and bar money, and you know.
Yeah, that's the other element to it, and you know, to my knowledge, you know, as the non-league game had any help from financially, had any help from anyone, FA, Premier League, whatever it is, and I think without that, we could be in danger of clubs going under, which you know. It's the whole, you know, the whole corny football family needs to stick together and all of that kind of stuff. But you know, some players come from this level and play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So you know, the grassroots is fundamental. It's fundamental to football. So I think
Yeah, but it doesn't have Sky money, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. So you know, it's like the gaffer said it a few times, elitist and that, and yeah, but
yeah, I mean that whole decision was just made so quickly.
It was, and at the time, it was.
Whether it's right or wrong, it just seemed to be made really quickly.
Yeah, and you know, at the time, it didn't feel like didn't feel right, didn't sit right, and you know, didn't have enough of the information. Could have, like the same as the National League, could have waited until when was it last week to make the decisions. But this is just my opinion, sitting on this side of the fence, not see it from I don't know. Each chairman's going to potentially see it in a different way. Each board director potentially as well.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I think one of the reasons they quoted was players being under contract, so clubs can now plan between now and next season. But I can't for the life of me think, or if I was going to say, I can't for the life of me think that there's that many players that are under contract. If you've got a high percentage of players under contract at our level and below, then probably I need to have a look at how you're running your business. But again, just my opinion. But so hopefully the country and the world can kind of get to grips with this pandemic that we're in the midst of sooner rather than later. We can start to see, you know, numbers across the globe plummet significantly and as quickly as possible, because you know, that's first and foremost before
of course,
anything coming back live on our screens or in stadiums. The thousands and thousands that have lost their lives, and then the knock-on effect that has for families and the economy and the economic impact that has on those families is obviously of paramount importance first.
Yeah, and I think we'll feel it for quite some time to come as well.
Yeah, I think no matter what sector you're in, there's going to be a huge knock-on effect. Whether that be recruitment, whether that be generating income for the business, it's just it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster for a number of months to come. Yeah. So who knows how long it's going to last?
Yeah. Well, on that high note.
Yeah, that's high
note. Great, mate. Thanks. Appreciate your time. Should be interesting the next coming weeks. You might want to watch the next one of these. We've got Steve and Chris on.
Oh, yeah. When's this going to be?
Next Monday, I think. Next Monday, hopefully. Yeah.
Well, yeah, social distancing, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
We might have to generate a few questions for that.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll stick out the the call for questions again, and we can. I can guarantee anonymity if anyone wants to ask.
Yeah, I reckon you might get a few curveballs thrown in. That might be. I'll definitely tune in.
All right, then.
Yeah, I'll mention that in the group. See what we can get.
Yeah, I know Chris contacted us, said we'll do one. Bored, haven't got anything else to do. So all right then, mate. Thanks a lot for your time. Take care, stay safe, and look after your family.
Thank you very much, and you guys take it easy, and hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.